So Dylan and I were hanging out for basically the whole day yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing that...
Lucky.
Yeah. He's a great guy. Friend of the pod.
Yeah.
But in having that conversation with him, multiple conversations throughout the day, we had one that I expected to be like a little nuanced, maybe take a little while. It was not, and it did not.
Okay.
I asked him the question. He answered definitively with a no. I answered definitively with a yes. He gave his one major reason for a no. It's a hypothetical question. But he gave his one reason for a no. I gave my one reason for a yes. And we were both just like, oh, okay.
And then you went on about your day?
Yeah. We didn't talk about it anymore. It was like the closest I have felt to being like in front of the fence, like king of the hill. Like just...
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one's like, or whatever he does.
Yeah. Spot on.
Yeah.
Not at all.
That guy wrote Beavis and Butthead too. Anyway, so I figured, well, when Derek gets home, and I said this to Dylan, I said, well, when Derek gets home, I'll ask him. Yeah, I didn't.
Right.
The reason...
Well, because we don't have conversations unless they are on microphone.
So that's kind of the point. Is the first question I have for you is, how often in a week do you think of something either about whatever movie we're going to talk about, the franchise, horror as a whole, anything that you go, I'm going to save that. Does that happen to you a lot?
Oh, yeah.
It's affecting our friendship. We never speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you and I'm like, hey, man, before I let you go, I'll save it for Mike.
And I'm like, okay. I've got something else for you on Mike.
Yeah, it's a good thing we're so far behind and we're having to record these so rapid fire because could you imagine like last year for like horror nights if we were waiting for Mike to tell, because we didn't record for like 6 weeks straight because we were smart.
Yeah, we were so far ahead.
And we recorded very far ahead. Are we far ahead right now? No.
Ty is very upset with
this
us.
episode comes out tomorrow. It's close. Yeah. It's close, but it's not that bad. So then here's the other question.
Cool.
Here's the question that I've been saving.
Yeah.
If you could, with a guarantee that you weren't going to have any kind of lapse or skip in your consciousness.
Okay.
You knew your consciousness would remain the same. It wouldn't fade to black, and then you die, and then a new version of you lives on, but not linked. So that's, because it's like if you clone yourself and the old version dies, that's not you. That's a replica of you, but you're your stream of consciousness, and once that ends, you're done. But you know that they can transfer the consciousness you have right now into a robot. And you're a brain.
A robot, you say.
You're a human brain in a robot. No, there's no, well, what if this, what if that? Just gut feeling. Would you become a robot?
And continue living?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Now that's what Dylan said. So what is your reason?
I don't want to continue living.
So that's what Dylan said also. Dylan said that he doesn't want to be effectively immortal.
Yeah.
I said yes, because I'm sick of lower back pain. And it really is just that simple. And he was like, and I mean, there's no real, I could clean this up, but I'm not gonna. Dylan was basically, what about your dick?
Right. Right.
You're not going to be able to have a dick. And I said, well, number one, through AI, I'm sure they could write some sort of program that would give me a wiener. Maybe with generative AI. I know you're not supposed to use that, but they could use generative AI and give me a big one. The GPT stands for giant penis thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is my pitch to you and my pitch to the audience. We have done many episodes of this show. We're 80 plus.
80 plus.
Yeah. So we have done almost 100 episodes of this show. We are running out of cold opens. There have been more times than I can count where you and I sit down, we just watched the movie, we have all of our notes, we're ready to roll, and you look at me and go, what's the cold open? Because normally I have something stupid like this or hypothetical or a story from one of us from the last week, and it's like, oh God, I have nothing. Like, I have nothing. And then we sit and spitball stupid talking points until we finally come up with one. So here is my pitch to the audience. Here's my pitch to you, Derek, co-host of the Third Channel podcast.
Oh, me.
At this point, stop saving stuff. Just talk to me about it. We'll recreate it on mic.
Oh.
Yeah.
We'll lie to these good people?
Yeah. Well, we do all of the time, but we'll script it. And we'll try to recapture it, but it won't be natural.
Okay.
Here's my pitch to the audience. Audience. if you guys have ideas for things, questionnaires for cold opens, questions that aren't necessarily about the movie we're going to discuss, or even really about horror, video games, collectibles, books that we like, positions that we have sex in, with each other.
Yeah.
That's what it was always going to be. We're partners in podcasting and we're partners in life.
In love.
But yeah. But if you guys have questions, please don't actually let it be about that, but send them our way. If you look in the description, we have a way that you can send us a text message. Also, at the end of this show, we have an email address that we give out. Feel free to email there. Find us on Instagram. You can hit us up there. But please do this one part of our job for us.
Yeah.
We have to watch these movies, take all these production notes, edit these episodes, get them all uploaded with all of this different flim flam. Please, if you guys could come up with the next like half a dozen cold opens, we'd be thrilled. Hello and welcome to the Third Channel Podcast,
where we delve into the horror franchises you love from the perspectives of a lifelong horror fan
and a newbie to the genre. I'm PJ.
And I'm Derek.
And today the only thing we're here to talk about is horror.
That was lovely.
It's the most excited I'm going to be for the rest of the episode.
Oh, I don't know why.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, the horror we're discussing today is Hellraiser, Hellseeker. A horror movie that is not scary or a movie.
Yeah.
There was a episode, and I don't recall what the movie was, but there was an episode of the YouTube channel Red Letter Media's film review show Best of the Worst, where they talked about a movie, and I can't remember which specifically, and I've probably referenced this before, but just to be specific, to establish it, to specifically establish it, they had a conversation about they needed to sue the production company that put out this movie, whatever it was, because the production company technically lied. It was false advertisement because it wasn't actually a movie.
Oh.
And they had a conversation about what legally classifies a movie.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I think that that's something that we should have a discussion about at some point during this review, because this is as little a movie as we've seen.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would describe this.
Because it is very similar in certain ways to Inferno.
Yeah.
Except it's somehow less of a movie.
It's somehow less of a movie. And if I'm being honest with you, because this is one we haven't watched together, it's less of a movie. And in some ways, it makes it better.
Yeah, in certain ways. I'm
like the overall, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not defending this. And I
Right.
think the overall quality of this movie is somehow worse. But there are ways that it doing worse and less makes it better. And I'm sure we'll get into the why of that.
Yeah.
But first, we have a little thing we haven't done in like 10 straight episodes. We have a little ditty called housekeeping.
Yeah. I've got several things of housekeeping.
I have two things.
Oh, God. This episode is going to be like 4 hours long.
Well, the movie's got 8 minutes worth of discussion to have.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. We'll do the thing where we talk about all the apartment scenes, all the bus scenes, all the hospital scenes, and then we'll wrap up at the beach.
Oh, good.
In 5 minutes.
Great. The first and foremost, for my housekeeping, we kind of alluded to this last week in last week's episode, that we've both had some kind of personal family stuff going on. But I just wanted to get this out of the way for anyone who saw my socials over the last week or so. My grandmother passed away. So I just wanted to thank everybody who has reached out with kind words last week. I really appreciate it. And I am doing well. Family's doing well, all things considered. But yeah, just nice to hear from people. That is another reason why I was already behind on our social media posts, but man, I am way, way behind now because I basically took a week off. Yeah. So that's that. But in that week, in just the last few days, we, Beans Morocco and Ross Bagan.
That's us. By name, first and last.
We passed, and producer Ty, we passed 5,000 downloads.
We did.
On our over 80 episodes of this show.
Which is, when you do the math to how many on average per episode that is, that's fucking crazy. You guys are fucking awesome.
Yes. Thank you, everyone who listens, who downloads, who subscribes. The next step there, and we've said it before, we'll say it again, please rate and review us on whatever podcasting app you use. Doesn't matter what it might be.
Yeah, it takes the 2 minutes less. Let's be realistic. It takes a second or so. But what it will do is for all of the apps that we host this show on, the more reviews and the more ratings that you get cumulatively, you get kind of pushed out a little bit further. But then also for things like media events or things like sponsors or to make the show a little bit more real, they look at that too. The general they. So it would be much greater of a help than I think the general audience thinks it would be.
Right.
So please, we will owe you more than we already do, and we already owe you a fuck ton.
And we're gonna owe you some more because it's also that time again, folks, of year. Best of the Bay 2026 nominations are live. So you can actually nominate Third Channel Podcast for Best Podcast once a day until midnight on June 10th.
And don't worry, if you forget, we will remind you on every social platform you can see us on every day.
Yeah, I believe. So this is the nomination portion. It goes through June 10th. I'll have links in the description below. You can click those and take you right to it. And you just need to put in Third Channel Podcast for Best Podcast. I think you have to maybe give an email and a zip code possibly. But I think the nominations are open for anyone. The voting, once we get to that later in the year, and that's if we make it, obviously. I think it's the top 15 candidates. Nominations are possible in those voting rounds. So we will see. But we made it last year through you guys over the course of, I think, a couple of days. So I'm hoping with a push we can make it back on that ballot this year, and
it'd be great.
It'd be awesome. So
yeah,
thank you for that.
My housekeeping is 3 pieces. Wow, I thought I was gonna have way less than you. You made it sound like you had a lot.
Oh, I just buzzed through it.
We lie to the audience, but you lie to me.
What?
Anyway, so the first thing is I want to give a general shout out to a gentleman and a location. The gentleman, his name is Dave. Dave is the general manager of Emerald City Comics in Clearwater, Florida.
Nice.
Emerald City helped me get my hands on something I've been looking for a very long time, collectible. But then also they have worked with us, for all kinds of promotional stuff. They've been great with us. And one of the managers of that place, Adrian, who's a good friend of ours, also a horror head and goes to horror haunts and whatnot. He has gotten a wholesale license for Trick or Treat Studios. So they carry a lot of Trick or Treat props now, which is anybody will know I'm a huge fan of. The one thing I really want from them is they have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre chainsaw replica, the yellow chainsaw.
Yeah.
But big shout out to Dave. Thank you, Dave, for your help. And if you guys live in the Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater area, go check out Emerald City. It's the biggest comic shop in this area for a reason. We're not sponsored. No, we're just fans. The second bit of housekeeping I have is you guys are going to hear a lot of this. Hear how echoey it is in here? We are going through a move.
Yes.
We are not moving. There are things being moved about. And so the studio
is a little more echoey than usual.
Much more echoey than usual. Not much we can do about it. It's a big open space with a big ceiling, and we used to have this area filled with stuff, and now it's kind of a half-empty room. But, sooner than later, it will sound normal. But no, it's not your headphones. No, it's not your car speakers. Yes, it is in your head. You've lost it. This is the end for you. That you slipped. and you caught yourself, you didn't.
Oh,
you hit the
God.
ground. Traumatic brain injury, baby.
That's what this movie feels like.
That's what this fucking movie feels like. Final bit of housekeeping. I have to correct myself on something. I'm listening back through our show. I have to correct myself on something from Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. I made a statement, and I was 10 toes in, and I stood by it, and I was wrong, and I need to correct that. I said that Rodney Dangerfield has the buggiest eyes on Earth. It's not true. He's dead.
So he has the buggy. Well, if he was buried, he could literally have bugs in his eyes now.
Well, that's okay. But is he on Earth? That's the thing. That's what our cold open was about. It constitutes, are you your consciousness? And if so, he is no longer on the Earth.
Unless he's a robot.
If you wanted to find him, you'd probably, just knowing how men generally are, and especially were during the time where he was a celebrity, you'd probably have to seek through hell, like as though you were in Hellraiser, Hellseeker.
Wow.
Evil, deadly, immortal. When the puzzle box is once again solved, Pinhead and his legion demolish all who dare oppose them. But standing in his way is the only person who has defeated Cenobites of the past. End of summary. That has nothing to do with this movie.
No, not at all.
Nothing.
I was like, oh shit, did I watch the wrong movie this week?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we did.
Yeah, I guess they're clearly referencing Kirsty.
Right.
Band-Aid tear off. Kirsty's back. Is the only, her and Doug Bradley are the only good parts of this movie.
Yes.
But that's still misleading.
That's not what the plot of this film is.
Yeah. Now you guys might be thinking, well, Third Channel, we're your biggest fans. But also, you skipped over the part where you talk about the first time you saw this movie. He and I saw it together in my apartment a couple years ago.
Yeah.
We didn't like it.
Yeah.
That's the whole conversation.
It's about as bad as I remember.
Oh, to me, it is significantly worse than I remember. This is the movie that I always describe as the weird dream sequence one with the city bus, and he keeps going back to his apartment and getting molested.
Yeah.
And with all of the elucidation of having just seen this movie again, that is what this movie is.
Yeah, it really is. I had forgotten all the bus stuff.
See, I just remembered the bus because I thought it was so simply bizarre that there was a movie that had your main character on the bus so many times, because it's like, well, he's got to get from place to place, and the movie starts with his car being crashed. It's like, but who fucking cares how he gets there?
Oh yeah. That's a good point I guess that's why we show the bus so many times, but yeah, I don't care
Also,
about that.
if your film is
he arrives at his house.
Right. If your film is so devoid of any and all reasonable storyline, no one's poking holes in, well, how did he get from the hospital home? There wasn't Uber yet. He had to take the bus.
Right. I hope he had a pass.
Now, let me ask you a question that our audience won't get. Do you think the bus driver makes hot dogs in Central Park and kills men in the sewer being eaten by rats?
I don't know. Are you asking me if the bus driver is the hero of this story?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if there is a hero at all.
We don't know that if there is a bus driver.
Do we ever see a bus driver?
I don't think so.
There's always a bus driver. There's always a bus.
There's always a bigger bus.
Hellraiser, Hellseeker. You'll notice a pattern in these Hellraiser movies is that when you get to the subtitles starting with 3, they alternate and they have hell in the title or not.
Oh yeah. Inferno, Hellseeker, Deader, Hell World.
Yeah. Then the last two don't follow that.
Bad One and Bad One Part 2.
Yes.
Bogus Adventure.
But yes, Hellseeker was released October 15th of 2002. It is directed by Rick Bota. It is written by Carl V. Dupre and Tim Day. It's produced by Michael Leahy and Rob Schmidt. The cinematographer is John Drake. He was a gaffer on Friday the 13th, The New Blood. And then he was a director of photography on a thriller from 2000 called Christina's House 1111, a 2004 horror film, slasher film called Ripper 2 from 2004. Battlestar Galactica: The Resistance, which I think is like maybe a TV movie from 2006, Battlestar Galactica Razor, and then 21 in 2007, and then 21 episodes of Battlestar Galactica, the like early aughts, remake series. The editor, Anthony Adler, had worked on 12 episodes of Tales from the Crypt, as well as the 1999 House on Haunted Hill remake. He returns for Hellraiser Deader and Hellworld, a thriller called Parasomnia in 2008, and then Diary of a Serial Killer, a thriller from 2008.
It's like I swore you were gonna say Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
No.
Oh, get the fuck out of here! Seriously.
And the other editor, Lisa Mosden, had worked on Dracula 2 and 3. Those are the sequels to Dracula 2000. The 2005 Wes Craven flick called Cursed, and then was assistant editor on Screams 2 and 3, as well as Children of the Corn 5, Halloween H20, Moon Knight for 2 episodes, 3 episodes of She-Hulk, 2 episodes of Loki, and then the very recent Gore Verbinski film, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, which came out this year.
Damn, really stepped up at the end there.
The budget, an estimated $3 million.
Insane.
$2 million was what Inferno was made for.
This movie looks like it was made for $25 in a pack of Marlboro Reds.
Yeah, this movie looks like they forgot to white balance every shot.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of blue. It's a lot of
blue, a lot of gray.
And then the problem is like they do like a lot of hallucinations and flashbacks and dream sequences, and those are like even worse shades of blue and gray.
Yeah.
But like there's not enough contrast between the two for you to immediately go, oh, I know that I'm in a dream or not.
Right.
Which I'm sure to them was a stylistic choice. But to me, it's bad.
Well, it's bad and it's also lazy. It's both. It can be both, and it is.
It could be both. Director Rick Bota was a second unit director on Mimic, the 1997 Guillermo del Toro film. Kiss the Girls, a 97 crime thriller. Imposter, an 01 sci-fi thriller. And then he follows this film up with both Hellraiser Deader and Hellraiser Hellworld, as well as a mystery thriller from 2013 called Love Me. And then mostly did TV work for things like Vampire Diaries, Supernatural, and Beauty and the Beast. Writer Carl V. Dupre had written the 1999 teen comedy Detroit Rock City, The Prophecy 3, which is a fantasy horror film from 2000, a supernatural horror film from 2011 called Incubus, which starred Robert Englund and Joey Fatone.
Oh my
In
God.
sync, as well as writing the screenplay for Hellraiser Hellworld. The other writer, Tim Day, the only other credit that they have is Hellraiser Deader. The producer, Michael Leahy, had worked on Maniac Cop 3 in 92, The Prophecy in 95, Phantoms in 98, Mimic 2 in 01, and then Children of the Corn Revelation, Feast 1, 2, and 3, Pulse 1, 2, and 3, Hellraiser Judgment, and Children of the Corn Runaway. I think most of those are either direct or like produced by either Miramax or Dimension.
Yeah.
So that's why those names pop up a lot on all these lists.
Yeah, earlier you said Children of the Corn Part 5, and I was unaware that was one of those franchises that just went on and on and on.
Dude, there are like 13 in that franchise.
We're not doing that one ever.
Producer Rob Schmidt had also worked on Mimic 3, The Prophecy 4 and 5, Hellraiser Deader and Hellworld, and then was the executive producer on Scream 4 in 2011, as well as HBO's Watchmen and Game of Thrones House of the Dragon. And then the music for this film was done by Stephen Edwards, who did mainly martial arts and action movies like Bloodsport 2 and 3, and they also did Children of the Corn Revelation and the music for Raging Sharks in 05 and Feast 1, 2, and 3, and then Shark in Venice in 08. A couple of shark movies.
Yeah, this score is terrible.
I couldn't tell you what it was.
It just sounds like if a Papa Roach, like
oh, Papa.
Papa Roach, that's what it is. It's like the Eastern European version of Papa Roach that just spells it different. And they're like, have you listened to Papa Roach?
Like, no.
Don't. Like, also, do you have any cabbage? We're trying to make a stew.
Now, of course, this could be contested. But I'm going to start these production notes with, contrary to popular belief,
Don't fucking say it.
neither Hellraiser Hellseeker nor the previous film Hellraiser Inferno started life as a pre-existing, non-Hellraiser related horror script that was optioned or owned by Dimension Films and then was retooled to become Hellraiser movies.
Yes, they were, both of them. This one is a little less obvious than the first one, because like at least more of like the puzzle box and Kirsty play into it.
That's the thing. This one has more of those elements, but less Cenobites than Inferno had.
But again, all of that can just be, well, you kind of have this through line of like, well, he's dead and why is he in this purgatory? And just make a fucking Pinhead. Can we get her back? Because we could just say Kirsty did it. Great. But this is rewritten. This is rewritten to include this. The fucking Doug Bradley himself could come up to me and say, no, I swear it was the same. And I'd be like, shut up. You old scouse bag.
You'd smack him right in his pins.
His pinness.
Yeah.
This is what we want you guys to nominate for best of the day is smack him in his pinness.
Well, in the case of this film, Hellseeker, screenwriter Michael Lent came under the attention of some big names with a script called Mea Culpa, which was described as Die Hard in a Church. And it was about a priest protecting a young girl. And then the Weinsteins from the Miramax company also showed interest, but after they ultimately passed on that idea, they did offer Lent the opportunity.
Of course they passed on that. Of course. Harvey Weinstein went, wait, they're protecting the young girl? No. That's not what we do here at Miramax.
Oh, absolutely not. So they passed on that, but instead offered him the opportunity to pitch the 5th Hellraiser film. So he wrote a script called The Hellseeker over 3 months, using elements from Clive Barker's original novel, The Hellbound Heart, and then lots of input from the Miramax executives. That script went through many drafts, and a first assistant director, Doug Arianokowski, was attached to make it his directorial debut. But then he ended up leaving to do Highlander Endgame, which I don't know which one of the Highlanders that is. And several of the executives were also fired during a reorganization around that time. So the film spent several years in development hell, like most of these do. Miramax eventually decided to make Hellraiser Inferno the 5th film instead, and then Lent's script was used as the basis for what would then be the 6th film. Although Lent was available for more rewrites by the time that he heard that his story had actually entered production, the shooting had already begun in 2001 in Vancouver, British Columbia, in Canada, with a heavily rewritten script, and then Lent did not receive any credit for. So I guess enough details had changed because he said, although the two projects were very similar in certain aspects, he said everything that happens after the first 8 or 10 minutes has nothing to do with what I would have ever envisioned. So I guess the very basis, and then they went their own way.
Okay.
We cannot speak for whether or not that is better or worse, but
it's both.
Yes. Yeah.
It's Schrodinger's Hellseeker. It is both. That would make a better movie, and that movie also would have sucked.
Yes.
Pinus. Comedies in threes.
Yeah, I love that
Three penises.
I love that we have a baseline for this episode so far.
Yeah.
After the relative success of Hellraiser Inferno in 2000, Dimension Films hired Carl V. Dupre and Tim Day to write a sequel, and then Rick Bota to direct. At Bota's suggestion, the script was rewritten to include the original film's protagonist, Kirsty Cotton, who had been absent from the series since a small cameo appearance in Hellraiser 3. That was all the way back in 92. So the producers spent all of pre-production then trying to speak with Ashley Lawrence, but her agents wouldn't give them her contact information. So they decided to move on, and the character was rewritten but still kept the name Kirsty as an Easter egg for fans. But then when Doug Bradley read the script and saw that there was a character named Kirsty, he was thrilled by the idea of reuniting with Ashley Lawrence, and so he offered to get in contact with her himself. And then she agreed to return. But at that point in the production, they were already far enough that they couldn't do another rewrite to more like integrate her into the film and into the story. So we get what we get. And Bota allowed Doug Bradley to rewrite the dialogue for Pinhead and Kirsty's reunion in this film, including some references to the first two movies. Although a lot of those lines were then edited out because Bota didn't want to confuse new viewers. So what was the point? Without the approval of Dimension executives, Bota apparently showed Clive Barker a work print of the film before it was released. And according to Bota, the director of this film, Clive Barker was complimentary toward this feature, but he suggested that he insert more grotesque imagery, gave some notes on how to improve the third act. So this, I guess, technically is the last time that he had any sort of creative input, very indirectly in this case, if any of this is actually true.
Clive Barker said you should put in more grotesque imagery, and here's some notes on how to make the third act better. And the director went, no.
It's like, well, no, the movie's already shot.
Yeah, I'm not doing any of that.
Can't change. Can we save it in editing?
They haven't let me do anything. They won't even let me touch the monitor. Harvey's got it angled the way he likes so we can see all the feet. Him and Tarantino are back there yucking it up.
Oh, and then finally, speaking of
Tarantino, feet, Harvey Weinstein.
no, none of that.
Oh, okay.
Dimension Films apparently placed the cast and crew under a gag order, hindering Rick Boda's opportunity to promote the film in any way when Fangoria magazine wanted to do a cover story on it. Ashley Lawrence broke her gag order to speak about the film, claiming that she had only been paid enough money to make a payment toward a new refrigerator. You know, like way back when we made some jokes about like an actress who that's all she wanted. It was Pamela Voorhees.
Oh, yeah.
It's like every time they wanted her to come back and she was like, well,
I could get a new car. I could get a new handbag. Hey, Ashley Lawrence, is your refrigerator running? And she's like, yeah. And they're like, well, here's a check. You better go pay for it.
You better go cash it is the joke.
You better go. I'm leaving it in. You have the best. You got the best of this. Is your beans Morocco running?
You solved the puzzle. You unleashed the power. There is no turning back. I will not rest until I get what I want. And what I want is you. You always knew this day was coming, felt it deep within your soul.
Wait! Wait! What if I make you a deal?
Interesting.
I will bring you 5 souls in exchange for mine.
You would bring them to me yourself.
You'll get your 5.
I was impressed with her handiwork.
Does that mean he was impressed by like what she did with her hands? Everything in these movies is so perverted.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell if he's talking about like, I don't know. Did she get at him?
Yeah, she might have.
Was that part of the deal?
She has what did they say about fingers in Bloodline?
I don't know. It's been 2 weeks.
He smoked it away.
Yeah, it's all gone.
For the second week in a row, we have chosen a clip because it's the only good like Pinhead moment in the whole movie. That's basically the big reveal of the whole thing.
Yeah, that clip and the fucking summary from the beginning make it seem as though this movie is a Hellraiser movie. But guys, we cherry picked the fuck out of those. There's almost none of that in this movie.
Which is, okay, that brings up a good point. If this was at the beginning of the movie and this was like the plot and we knew it going in.
Yeah.
Could you make a better movie out of that?
Yes.
That Kirsty is like, again, playing tricks and trying to like weasel her way out of like, how can I not have my soul taken by these members of a monastic order? And
you mean this? Oh God, what's the word?
It starts with a
Cenobite.
Yeah. But like, so she's always coming up with like new ways of kind of getting around their rules.
I I fully submit that one of the things I was the most disappointed with Scream 7 about is the fact that Melissa Barrera's character, Sam Carpenter, didn't become Ghostface. Because you follow this morally good character, well, mostly good character through these movies. I wanted to see her break bad. I wanted to see her become, to some degree, antagonist adjacent.
Right.
It would be cool to see Kirsty do that in this movie as well. And if you had written a movie that was about exactly that, about Kirsty getting back involved with these Cenobites, getting back involved with the puzzle box, and then using that to her advantage to get revenge on someone else would have been great.
Yeah. But we didn't get that.
No.
Instead,
The guy who plays Mayhem from the Allstate commercials
yeah.
is our lead character, whose name is Trevor.
Yes.
And Trevor, like in all Hellraiser movies, the guy, Trevor,
Right.
is a disgusting, lecherous, pedophilic, groomer, sex creep.
Yeah. I mean, we don't see all of those things happen in this movie, but we have to assume.
Well, you just know offhand. And he's in his car.
Yeah. First of all, I want to point out, because I make this comparison.
Okay.
We start with these opening credits that are over like these spinning close-ups of the Lament configuration puzzle box.
Yeah.
And that reminded me of the like no budget
Candyman hook
3
spin.
hook
Yeah.
spin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, that's something. Except I don't think it's a physical prop. I think it's a digital.
Yeah, it looks like a digital. Yeah, like either a digital cube that was rendered or like a picture that they're just kind of moving around.
Yeah, it could be that.
I don't know. But yeah, they're driving this car. Now they are driving what looks like a 1988 like Toyota. It's just the crappiest car.
Right.
And they're driving it.
Yeah. They being Trevor Gooden and his wife, Kirsty Cotton.
His last name is Gooden.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, Jesus.
Are
we going over actors?
Yeah, I mean, we can.
Okay,
There's not a lot to go over in this, thankfully.
Yeah, because once you're done with that, I'm going to give the rest of the movie's plot out, and then we're done doing this.
Trevor Gooden is played by Dean Winters, who's done, believe it or not, mainly TV work. He was a main cast member in Oz, doing 56 episodes of that.
Okay.
He was in Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles for 9 episodes. He was in Rescue Me for 33 episodes. 15 episodes of 30 Rock.
Oh my God, is it going to happen?
9 episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's in John Wick from 2014.
Okay.
He actually starred in a movie.
Great.
And then, like you said, he's also Mayhem in the Allstate.
But he's
insurance
not. He's
commercials.
not Nev in Nev Campbell's Party of Five.
No, he from what I could find is not appeared. No one in this film, to spoilers, no one in this film has appeared in an episode of Party of Five starring Nev Campbell.
God damn it.
His wife is is Kirsty Cotton, played by Ashley Lawrence, who we have seen in Hellraisers 1, 2, and 3. She is in a slasher movie from 92 called Mikey. She is in a Lovecraftian horror film from 94 called Lurking Fear. She's in a fantasy horror film from 99 called Warlock 3, an 07 horror film called Chill, and then she's in an episode of Creep Show, as well as doing a voice in a horror adventure video game that I had not heard of, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter from 2014.
No, I haven't heard of that either. Interesting. But yeah, they're in the car, and he's like, "Aw, you're smiling," and she's like, "Yeah."
That almost never happens.
Yeah, he's like, I it's just nice. I haven't seen you smile in a really long time.
Is it going to get better?
And then almost a car crash. The car goes sailing off a bridge. The car smashes into the water and it sinks. He gets out of the car and he tries to swim around and get her out. Door won't budge. So he swims to the surface of the water, screams, "Someone help," and then dives back down to watch her die, I guess.
Yeah.
Ultimately, this is going to be a much less plot-heavy discussion, I feel. This one's going to be a much more incompetent filmmaking discussion. Every shot is so flat. The shot where they almost get like into the wreck is obviously the most interesting part. A car kind of swerves and they almost get clipped.
Yeah.
And that's what causes them to go off the bridge. But that even is like a bit of a camera angle then right back to flat.
Yeah.
Their dialogue is shot reverse shot, which is normal for a car, but this is a horror movie, not a procedural drama. So that is just boring. And then we're going to keep making this point. There's no way to not, and there's no way to not harp on it. The movie is so ugly.
Yes.
It's just so fucking like, it looks dusty. And in some movies, like, look, Saw is ugly intentionally.
Yes.
And it works really well because it's supposed to gross you out.
Yeah, or like a Rob Zombie film.
Sure.
They're supposed to be gritty and grody and nasty and make your skin crawl.
A good example of that kind of, you know, aesthetic in this series is in Hell on Earth 3 when they're in that hospital. And it's like, yeah, the hospital looks gross because it's supposed to unnerve you. It's a horror movie. It is supposed to unnerve you. This isn't unnerving. This just looks
It looks like an error.
It looks like the back rooms.
Yeah.
Everything is just like 80s paste. Anyway, his acting is awful. Awful. He's like, she's like, yeah. And he's like, you're smiling. That's nice. Do that more. He's like, you're prettier when you smile. You're not bitching at me about fucking whatever, about sleeping with the neighbor.
You might as well.
So he drives the car off the bridge. It smashes into the water. No reason for him to not be able to open the door, but that's not an actual plot point until the very end of the movie, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Apparently, like a month later, he is in the hospital. But this isn't, I don't believe it's him waking up for the first time, like he's been in a coma or anything. It's like the crash happens, he makes it out of the hospital, but then he's coming back for like migraines and painkiller appointments and things like that. And so that's what he's waking up from here. But he's like just kind of piecing it together that like Kirsty's gone and he's asking questions.
He keeps saying, where's Kirsty? Where's my wife? You know?
Which is another thing that like, because of the developmental hell that it took a couple years for this to actually get made, there are similarities to Christopher Nolan's Memento in the fact that this is like a guy with, you know, a like short-term memory loss or some kind of amnesia where he can't remember what happened to him. And he's trying to piece together the mystery of like what happened to his wife. And he's kind of being pinned, you know, that crime is being pinned on him. And so it's like, when this first came out, people were like, oh, well, you ripped that off. And it's like, well, no, the script was written and it was like in production like well before that, but then it came out after. So
yeah, but it also doesn't matter because this was bad, and I love Memento.
Yeah.
That is such a that's a really funny point because only in this one very specific way would I compare them.
Right.
In every other way, they're different. Yeah, he there's a thing that happens a handful of times in this, which is we just kind of smash cut to him waking up somewhere else. The timeline, the linear storytelling, the geographical storytelling, the chronological storytelling, it's all fucked.
Yes.
There's no way of knowing what is and isn't happening when and where.
Yes.
And I'm going to just spoil this right from the very jump so that we can have this discussion as good faith and as, you know, benefit of the doubt with the screenplay here as possible. Guys, he's dead. This is all a dream. He's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead. But he's not. He didn't make it.
Oh, no.
He didn't make the car crash. He died.
Okay.
So the reason I bring that up is because I think that you could make the defense for the movie. Well, the reason all of that is out the window is because this is all surrealist. It's dreamscape, and it's like, yeah, kind of. But Nightmare on Elm Street, it has like 5 or 6 decent movies, you know, on average, because the 6th one is so fucking bad. No, 6 is fine. 7 is bad. 7's Freddy's dad.
No, 6.
Is 6 Freddy's dad?
Yeah.
Which one's 7?
Is New Nightmare.
Oh, I like New Nightmare.
Yeah, it's great.
Listen, can we please go back to those?
Well, yeah, if you guys, you know, go in your podcasting app, leave us a quick review, rating, and go back to those episodes where we're having a good time.
I wish we could do that.
You've probably watched or you've probably listened to enough of this episode for it to count.
Yeah.
You can go back.
See you guys. For those of you who are still here, you're braver than most. But the point is, there are so many movies in that franchise that do really surrealist dream sequence stuff, but they manage to keep you apprised of exactly where and when you are.
Yes, because that is the point. Here, it is like, and I'll get more into this once like we really get to the big reveals at the end and like how I feel about everything. But yeah, it is that. It's once you know the ending, even just watching it for the first time, it's like the third time that he wakes up in a random spot, seemingly from another dream or a nightmare or a weird vision or hallucination, and you realize, oh, literally at any moment, we're going to reveal that this whole thing has been a dream.
Right.
This whole thing has been in his head. This whole thing has been a loop in limbo, just like the last film.
Now, what I will say is that the twist is actually kind of clever.
Yeah.
But I'm so frustrated and checked out by the
Yes.
time we get to the twist that it didn't matter that all of this was because of the twist.
Exactly.
That would be like if a stranger in a black coat, a black hat, and a black mask, like, you know, the neighborhood watch guy, who's just a silhouette.
yeah.
It's somebody who looks like that, just slaps you in your nutsack every day.
But he's supposed to be watching out for us.
But he's not. And this is the catch, though. And that happens every day for a month. And then on day 32, they're like, by the way, that's not even a guy. That's like a fucking android.
A robot.
It's like, wow, that's amazing. But I'm very fed up with this. So it means less to me now.
Yeah. Yeah.
My analogies are getting tired.
Oh, they're legendary. is
80
what they are.
episodes, baby. But the point is,
Yeah.
he's in the hospital. He's talking to this blonde lady doctor.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, it's okay. You don't have all your memories. And he's like, great. And then a cop walks in. And the cop's like, hey, brother, you killed your wife. He's like, well, I want to see my wife. And he's like, all right, well, we'll get there. We'll get there. And like, he's not just being like, sir, because you're right. It's not supposed to be immediately after. And he's not like, well, sir, your wife is dead.
Yeah, he's not revealing anything to him like in those ways. It's more of like, hey, I'm, needing to question you about this. And so they found that, like, tell me again what happened. And then he rattles off, what happened. And it's like, that's funny because they found, you said that you couldn't get your wife's door open, the car door open, and that's why she drowned, and that's why you couldn't get to her. Well, it's funny because when they, drug the car out of the water, both doors were wide open.
Yeah, it's funny because when James Cameron went down in the submersible and when all those billionaires went down in their submersible, well, they died, but James Cameron was able to find that Kirsty was alive. She set up shop down there. She's wearing a seashell bra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sexy as hell.
Sexy as hell. It's a bizarre character introduction of this cop. He asks these questions and kind of is like, well, I believe you for now, but he's kind of on you. And that's kind of the conversation they have.
Yeah, it's the whole, like, we have this, we'll get introduced to the other one in a minute, but we have this whole, like, good cop, bad cop thing going on.
Which is insane.
Yes. This one is Detective Mike Lang, who's played by William S. Taylor. He was in The Fly 2 in 89. He's in Omen 4 in 91. He's in Scary Movie 3 in 03. And then do you recognize him from Zack Snyder's Watchmen from 2009? He is Rorschach's prison psychiatrist.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't recognize him.
Yeah. Is his name like Bernie or something? Because he has the same name as the kid at the that's the kid at the newspaper stand. Doesn't matter.
Okay. He seems very much like he seems like somebody that would play a cop because he doesn't come off as Law and Order. He comes off as like a cop in like a comic book movie. Like he's extra cop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, I got my badge the old-fashioned way, and it's like, okay, man.
What does that mean?
It means I beat an immigrant to death, and they just gave it to me.
Yeah, that is. I think
Back in the
that's like
60s, that was a
that was
prerequisite.
your final exam.
Yeah.
We assume allegedly, whatever we got to say here. But the other people I'll just introduce because they play minor parts. The Dr. Allison Dormer is played by Rachel Hayward. She was an extra to a sci-fi monster film from 1990. She is in a 99 horror film called The Fear Resurrection. And she is in, do you know that this exists? Jingle All the Way 2 from 2014 starring Larry the Cable Guy.
I did not know that exists.
Sounds...
My life has been made worse now knowing that it exists.
You're welcome. But yeah, she is the nice doctor. We also, like, I guess we have a good cop and a bad cop, and we have a nice doctor and a mean doctor.
Yeah, because the mean doctor walks in and he's just like, well, there's nothing wrong with you, so fuck off.
Yeah, I need the bed.
You're here pill seeking.
Yes.
Oh, the Hellraiser pill seeker.
Oh.
Yeah, but anyway.
That's Dr. Ambrose, who's played by Ken Camro Taylor, who was also in The Fly 2. Happy Gilmore in 96. I believe he's a coach in that. And then The Mangler 2 in 2002.
As you're writing these down for actors like this, for roles like this, how many times are you like, what am I doing?
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think about
that one should have been one of them.
Yeah, it was. So Trevor goes home on the first of many bus rides.
Yep. On the bus, there is now, if you guys will recall our previous episode for Inferno, we talk about the fact that, like me, if you have tattoos or face piercings,
Oh, yeah.
you're a perverted BDSM sex creep. So a BDSM sex creep with tattoos and piercings has a boom box on the bus.
Right?
And our character's like, hey, man, can you turn that down? And he looks over. He's like, can you turn that down, please?
I have a headache.
So he turns it up and he goes, and he just gets off the bus.
Yep.
I like to imagine that wasn't his stop. He just waited for another bus because he's such a piece of shit. But he's also like, the second he sees a bigger guy, he's like, hey, turn that down. The guy turns around. He's like, you talking to me? And he's like, oh, no, sir. Sorry, sir.
But he goes into his apartment and he finds a picture of he and Kirsty and he reminisces about them. End of scene. He goes to work the next day because that's how a lot of this is like
it's fucking
commercial breaks, fade to black, fade up to.
It is so ADHD, but it's also so violent in tone. Because it's like the beginning is an action sequence, then it's like a and we also didn't talk about the weird fucking brain surgery bit.
Yeah. That was part of the, he wakes up in a hospital, then they give him drugs to ease his pain or his nerves. And then he wakes up in an operating room where his brain is being operated on.
And they stick a pin in his brain.
Right. And then he wakes up again in the first hospital, the actual hospital. And then that's when the doctors are just like, I'm Dr. Whoever and I'm good, and I'm Dr. Whoever and I'm bad.
Outside of the Doug Bradley stuff, this one moment with like the skull plate and that all looked great.
Oh, yeah.
It looked great. The performance of like the masked doctors, it was shot in this really like weirdly like spacey bad trip kind of way.
The lighting is interesting. A lot of like harsh shadows, and bright lights.
That 2 seconds was good.
Yeah.
And then it's all bad from there on. But so, yeah, they, the only reason I pointed that out is the kind of contrast to it goes from a car crash to that bit of actual horror, then to a weird, like, house hospital show.
Right.
Then he goes home, and then it's an episode of like Boy Meets World where we're following an old Corey reminiscing over Topanga. And then it cuts to like, the James McAvoy Wanted movie. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, because it's like an office.
That ugly claustrophobic office.
Yeah.
Where two things happen. Number one, we meet a friend.
Friend is probably a stretch.
Whatever. We meet an accomplice. It's a guy who works with him.
Brett.
And he's just like, they say that headaches. And he's just so insufferable. Just obnoxious. And he ends up, unfortunately, being a much bigger deal. But then we also meet his boss. And we meet his...
Gwen.
But this is what I mean about tonal whiplash.
Right.
It's like... So, because what is this? 15 minutes in?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Car crash, horror brain surgery, stupid hospital scene, sort of police interrogation element, goes home and reminisces and is kind of emotionally sad, goes to work they try to do like a bit of buddy comedy, lighthearted shit.
For a literal moment.
Yeah.
And then he gets to his cubicle and he finds a card pinned up in there that says
It's like all problems solved.
yes. And then that gives another then flashback memory, I assume, where he is in a factory of like an abandoned factory. And there are like people working and he finds jars of something.
Oh, right. And there's like a big old fat person.
Yes. Well, was she some kind of great big fat person?
You put the pins in their head, or else you get the Chenard worm head.
It's Toretto, Brian. It's always been Toretto. He's in the first Fast and the Furious film.
You found a way to bring it back to Fast and the Furious. But yeah, I totally forgot about the fucking weird factory.
Yeah, see, so whenever I was watching this the other day and you were like half watching and I had to pause the movie for like the first time to then go, I don't know how I'm going to write these notes.
Right.
Because so much has happened and yet literally nothing has happened in this movie.
Yeah, no, it's all and then.
Yes.
And we've complained about that before. I complained about that with Inferno, Dario Argento's Inferno.
Right.
I complained that movie felt like and then.
This starts with a quote from Dante's Inferno.
And that quote is and then, but with an Italian hand next to it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, because Inferno is just like this happens and then this happens and then this happens. But the things that are happening happen for longer.
Right.
It's like 10 minutes, 20 minutes at a time. This is... It happens, then happens, then happens,
Every
then happens.
2 minutes, reset the clock.
Yeah, because so yes, he's in the factory. He sees the jars. He sees the big old fat person, and then there's like a guy.
And then he wakes up,
Right.
and Brett is like, "Oh, how?"
He says something about like memory loss is a sign of low blood sugar.
Yeah, I think he says
something.
like headaches or migraines or something, or low blood sugar. So go get a snack.
So he goes. So okay, and now we have another bit of, I wouldn't even call it horror. I would almost call it like art house surrealist, political commentary.
There's a yeah. It's what this film really needed.
It's that weird fascist, like Nazi adjacent ad that Apple made.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just in a factory. Again, or the big old fat person.
Yeah, because you're talking about he goes to the vending machine.
To be clear, by big old fat person, I mean like a special effects makeup, like morbidly obese giant monster.
I don't even know if this is supposed to be an actual person. It looks like a mannequin.
Oh, see, I thought it was a Cenobite towards the end.
Like I have maybe. I have
don't
no
get a good
idea.
look.
If you know what, for a recent example of what I'm talking about, and I don't think you'll know what I'm referencing. To anyone who has seen the newest like teaser trailer for Zach Kreger's upcoming Resident Evil film, that there's a moment in that.
I won't watch the trailer for that. Fans of the show know that I don't like zombie movies, but I love zombie video games. Resident Evil is an all-time favorite of mine. I love Zach Kreger. I like everything he's made. I'm very excited to see what he does because I saw an interview where he's kind of talking about how the character in that movie is supposed to be a guy playing the game.
Yeah.
Is like, not that the movie is a video game,
Right.
but like that he's stumbling around and figuring things out and getting stronger as the game goes on and more used to his crazy situation. And I'm like, I love you, dude. The guy, the actor.
He was in Weapons.
Is he? Who is
He's
he?
the druggie.
Oh, really? Interesting. Okay, because I like him too. All right. We did it. We talked about the movie. Guys, if you have any egg salad and egg.
But yeah, he goes to the vending machine and then there's like a bloody hand that smacks the glass from inside.
Like a wet hand.
It's wet.
And so, okay, little jump scare. Again, weird memory to a slight surrealist horror bit. Then it's another joke, haha, buddy comedy, Office Space. Oh, fucking Mike Judge again. They went back to the King of the Hill reference I made. And then, his boss is raping him.
Yes.
Like full-blown sexual harassment, workplace, like aggressive sexual harassment.
Yeah. Throwing him up against the vending machine and
again, we have writers and directors that don't know how people act.
right.
Because this person's wife, in his mind, just died.
Right.
Just died. And he's like kissing her back a little bit. He's having flashbacks to clearly having sex with this woman. And then he's like, okay, wait, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. My wife just died. And he says that's verbatim. He's like, hey, he's like breathing heavy. He's like, hey, I gotta tuck my boner into my waistband. My wife just died. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
And then like on top of that, you've got both the end of this scene, loose term there.
Yeah.
And the end of the previous scene with Brett. Both of them like point out like, oh, remember, you're on camera right there, and like point to a camera in the corner of the room.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like,
which does not pay off at all.
No, not really. Like he goes back to his desk and he then sees the footage of what just happened in there playing on his own
As though
computer.
somebody brought it up on his computer.
But then that doesn't go anywhere. It's like he doesn't get in trouble. He doesn't get fired for it.
There's not any creepy person that's like, oh, I've done this to you. It just is there.
Yeah. His boss, Gwen Stevens, was played by Sarah Jane Redmond. She's in 30 Days of Night, Dark Days in 2010, which is the sequel, I guess.
Okay.
She's done quite a lot of genre TV work. She was in 3 episodes of iZombie. She's in 12 episodes of Smallville, 4 episodes of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix, and then 12 episodes of something called Siren, which I believe is about a mermaid. A lot of other genre stuff on TV. But
do we get our second bus ride here?
he takes a call. I don't know. No. Because he always takes the bus home.
Okay.
So he gets a phone call from Detective Lang to come to the police station for questioning.
Right. Okay.
About the
Jesus.
crash. And so he goes there. And this is more or less a pointless scene.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because we talked about this because he gets interrogated by the other cop.
No, not even.
Is that
the
also
cop
not
is
yet?
No. So he gets there. Lang asks him like one question about the car crash.
Right.
And he's like, oh yeah, what's funny about the scene is that there were no skid marks on the road above where you drove off the bridge. That's strange, don't you think? And then like nothing comes of that. And so like this is just another question that could have been asked in the hospital scene before.
I remember having this conversation with you about that.
The only thing that he really does is like he references the other detective. Like you see all through this movie, our lead Trevor is like constantly noticing people like staring at him.
Yeah.
And like weird things happening, but like mostly people are staring at him. And so there's this one detective like across the room who's staring. And so Detective Lang in just a throwaway line is like, oh yeah, that's my partner, Detective Givens. That's it. We don't meet him. We don't hear from him in this scene. It's not until way later.
That's fucking so... Because what I do remember about this is that you had the conversation with me. I think I was playing Marvel Rivals or something, but you had the conversation with me of like, what do we need this scene for? And it's like, oh yeah, because if they added whatever exposition was just given, whatever detail, either they give it to the cop in the hospital, he says it there, and you cut this out, this detective precinct scene,
right?
Or the cop doesn't show up to the hospital and you do all of that here now.
Yes, exactly.
Which would make more sense.
But nothing makes much sense in this.
No.
I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way. Detective Givens is played by Michael Rogers. He is apparently in Children of the Corn Revelation in 2001. He is in Beyond the Black Rainbow in 2010. That's a film that I have not seen yet, but I really want to because it is directed by the same guy who did Mandy, which I love and you hate. He is in the ABCs of Death. And then he is in a movie that I did not know existed. Apparently, Neil Blomkamp, who directed District 9.
A favorite of both of ours.
Yeah, and then Elysium and Chappie apparently did a 2021 horror film called Demonic that I've never heard of before.
Okay,
So-
I'd be interested to see that.
Yeah, same. So then we move on to our next bus ride.
Okay, so now we're at the bus ride. Fuck me, dude. It's like you could not draw a cohesive map of this movie story. It is a subway line.
Well, and it's because, I mean, you kind of rattled this off at the top where it's like you have scenes in the hospital, in the police station, at his apartment, on the bus, in the like abandoned factory building. And we just kind of, and at the acupuncturist office,
There's like two
and
or
then,
three
and then
scenes
at
in
his
each.
office, and then you just cook it just wherever you want to. You just jump around to a location at any given time.
It feels like fast traveling in a video game.
Yeah.
Well, so he fast travels back to his apartment.
Yeah.
Who's there? His boss.
There's a, well, first of all, there's a dark figure, a dark, spooky figure.
Oh, in the building across the street?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he sees it. He's like, what the fuck? And then he starts having a weird flashback, and then he pukes up a bunch of water, and he throws up an eel.
Yeah. Full size eel.
An eel.
Yeah.
Like a moray eel. He pukes it out of his throat.
Yeah.
And then he goes... He's rolling around on the ground. He's literally had a living eel crawl, like slither its way out of his throat.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of chokes a little bit. And he goes, what is happening? And it's like, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
All of his reactions are never big enough
It's
for the things that are happening to
Well,
him.
he can't muster that performance.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, here's a question map for you, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just throw up a Neil? No,
Yes.
You're fine. Yes.
Uh-oh.
Did you eat an eel? Yes. You're fine.
Oh, good.
No.
Uh-oh.
Kill yourself.
Oh, no.
That's the end. You just threw up an eel and you didn't eat it.
Luckily, this appears to be another dream. Or a
Yes.
hallucination of some
Of
kind.
some sort.
Because then there's like a knock at the door, and he goes, and it's the neighbor chick who's
Right.
named Tawny, I believe.
And she's like, hey, look at this tramp stamp I got. I was going to get it somewhere else, but I got it on my stomach.
Yeah, she's like, I was gonna get it on my butt, but I thought this was sexier, and
For
so
you.
it's like below her belly button.
Yeah, it looks like a happy trail.
Yeah.
She's like, I got it for you. And he's like, oh, thanks. Door closed.
And then yeah, she like tries to like seduce him down to her room, and he doesn't go for it, and then closes the door.
She's also terrible.
Yeah, Tawny, Jodie Thompson, who was also in The Fear Resurrection, which is a movie I don't know. I remember that in the like movie rental place. Like I remember the cover. She's also in 30 Days of Night, Dark
Did
Days.
that cover make you throw up an eel?
No, unless I blocked that out.
I was going to say, you'd remember it.
Okay, you say that.
Or you're dead.
Fingers crossed, maybe. And then she's also in Friday the 13th, Vengeance 2, Bloodlines, which is a 2022 fan film, which a bunch of those original stars from some of the sequels were in.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure we've talked about that as well. But so the big part of this scene is his boss shows back up.
Yeah. Well, I think the first thing is like, because we tease this other, like, we gotta interject Kirsty in and then get to a box eventually.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair point. He watches a tape.
Right.
And it's like, it's our 5-year anniversary. And this is another thing I thought was fucking hilarious. He's like, here, I got you a gift. And she's like, oh, really? You got me a gift? Like, and she sounds like, wow, did you really?
Yeah, like you've never done that for me
It's like,
before.
how low is the bar? You've been married for 5 years.
Yeah, pretty low apparently.
But she opens the package and it's the box.
Right.
And she's like, what? And then the camera, the tape cuts off.
Right. But so, and then he hears like he wakes up from that, or he hears a noise in the hallway, I guess, and he goes out to check. Nobody's there. And then whenever he goes back in, his boss Gwen is just in his apartment.
Yeah, and she's there, and it's the funniest fucking thing in the world because she's standing there, and all you can see are her legs because she's wearing a giant black like trench coat.
Yeah.
And it's like you're naked under there. And then she's like making out with him, and he's like, again, my wife has just recently passed. And she's like, at this point, I don't care. We're doing this.
And she's like, yeah, don't worry about that. I have this camera set up and this chair.
No, she says, because this was such a crazy fucking thing. And I took a note on this because it was so bizarre. They start making out in this chair, and he's like, no, stop. And then he starts to get into it, and she's like, well, that's the Trevor I know. And it's like, okay, so does he have sex with this person, or does he just go along with it? But he's now been molested twice.
Right. By this woman.
An attempted third time by the neighbor.
Right.
So that's three attempts at molestation, 2 successful. It's important because that's all this character gets. Every woman wants him, but they don't want him to want them to want him. They
Yeah.
just want it to be horrible. fucking, you know how people say that whoever made that Wuthering Heights movie is just a fetishist who can't disguise it very well? Harvey Weinstein.
Oh my God.
Those are the studio notes.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, make him not want this. Make that a part of it. It's like, Harvey, what the fuck, man? He's like, no, I get away with this for like 20 more years.
Oh my God.
Then,
Did anybody get that on camera?
And then Woody Allen's son is like, I want to take you down. I'm kidding. It's Frank Sinatra's son.
Oh.
That's the Ronan Farrow thing.
Oh, okay.
Is that people think that he's Frank Sinatra's kid because he looks just fucking like him. Back to the story. I don't know.
Story.
Yeah. Okay. Here. Back to the story. So they start making out, and she goes, "What's going on with you, Trevor? Normally you've set it up by now." And he's like, "Set up what?" And then it cuts, and there's the camera pointed at them. Now, the reason I find this so insane is because he eventually is like, "Get the fuck off me!
Yeah.
I don't want this. My wife is my wife, and she's gone. Get the fuck out of here." So she gets up and she's like, "Fine." And she puts on her trench coat and she's leaving. And she turns to him and she's like, "You can kiss that promotion goodbye."
Right.
And I was like, you can say goodbye to that promotion is such an insane thing to say while you're being recorded.
Right. Yeah, true. Because the camera is still rolling.
It's like he has proof that you're doing this.
Yeah. Huh.
Whatever.
Wow.
It was all a dream. So who cares?
Yeah.
You can make
Like-
your movie as terrible as you want.
Like Biggie said. Anyway. There's this one moment in this scene that I kind of like where she leaves and he's like seemingly having like a hallucination. Like he looks, because they have the camera like hooked up to a TV so that he can see it big.
I do like this.
And he sees them continuing to have sex on the chair. And I like that, like the confusion and him trying to piece together, like, what am I witnessing? Am I somehow watching like playback of this? Is this what already happened? And then he waves his hand in front of the camera and you see it on the playback. I like that a lot.
I like it too because the two of them, the action, the blocking that they're doing is at a much lower frame rate than the hand. It's like them fucking in the chair looks like old VHS like playback footage from a camcorder, and his hand looks live.
Yeah.
And that's a cool visual.
It's a cool little moment. Then in that, like he witnesses on the TV, Gwen is then grabbed by, and it's really quick cuts and things to where you don't get a good look at them. But I guess this movie's versions of Cenobites.
Yeah.
They're just kind of pretty generic with like barbed wire wrapped around their faces is what it looks like.
One of them looks like they have their eyes sewn shut.
Yeah.
The other one is big. I don't know.
You're right. And
Flots him and jets him.
they grab her and they wrap her face in like plastic
And they stab her, I guess.
to suffocate her or whatever. And then he wakes up. Trevor wakes up again in his cubicle this time. And Brett is like, "Hey, I'm going to help you out, buddy. Here is the address to my acupuncturist, Sage. You should go and see her to relax."
He goes to the acupuncturist.
Oh, my favorite little throwaway line, because
okay.
we gotta set this up.
Yeah, good.
As Brett leaves, he is off camera. Camera is looking at Trevor's face as he's contemplating going to see this Sage person, and you just hear Brett go, "Anybody seen Gwen?" Because she's gonna end up dead, guys. If you couldn't put it together,
But she's not. Because
Right.
it's a dream. So none of this matters.
so Trevor goes to see Sage for a acupuncture session.
And she does the thing that all acupuncturists famously do, which is they randomly and haphazardly stick needles in your back while you look at your face in a mirror, and they tell you to let go of your soul or whatever. And then,
This is another vision back at the warehouse.
yeah,
We see
this is cool.
like a derelict, because they always have like one of those guys in these, but like a merchant. I think he goes by merchant in the credits, who is showing him first a puzzle sphere
Created
by
Le Marchand, a French toy maker.
we
Shout out to Bloodlines, which I heard that in this, and I thought, like, keep Hellraiser Bloodlines name out of your fucking mouth,
Right.
you trash movie.
yeah. and they like he like rolls it and it becomes the cube. Like it's a quick like we see the cube kind of tumble over. So I guess that's what we're supposed to get from that. I had read somewhere a while back that like he originally wanted that sphere to be like what the box looked like in this one.
There's
And-
no way the studio lets that
yeah,
happen.
and they were like, no, the box is the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, you got to make it that. You got to make it the cube.
Is this where he's in the reflection?
He being
Pinhead.
it's where because Pinhead comes out of the like acupuncture chart on the wall,
Yes.
and
Which is clever.
yeah, apparently the director Rick Bota, he wasn't sure about that whole idea. He thought it was too silly. But Doug Bradley thought it was like really funny, so they kept it in the script.
It's funny, but it's also like, yeah, that's clever.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, he comes out and he taunts him. And he's
He like pulls the
"He's dead."
pin out of his head,
Yeah, and,
and it becomes super long.
not a bad special effect.
Yeah, and then he
like,
stabs it all the way through his throat.
now my question was when he pulled it out of his head, how come it didn't have like a weird spindly worm on it?
Yeah, his brain worm.
His brain worm.
Yeah,
I don't even remember what that was used for. I just remember what was that?
it was in Hellraiser 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
right.
what he stigmatas himself with.
Yeah, and then he does the weird little like bah, 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 pose in the church. That movie was crazy, but that movie was great. That movie's fucking Citizen Kane compared to this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, he taunts him, and then our lead kind of snaps out of it. And is
Are you
still-
saying he wakes up from another nightmare?
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but yeah, he wakes up.
The amount of times that I have that written in my notes of like, and he again rides the bus, and he again wakes up from a nightmare.
Okay, he wakes up from a nightmare in the acupuncturist's office. What happens next?
He gets another call from our detective.
Right.
This time, Detective Givens, to come to the station for more questioning because we got to go to our other set piece.
Yep, they threw a dart. This is the fifth round of darts. They threw a dart at the fucking police station.
So he goes there. He's now the prime suspect in the murder case of his wife, even though no body has been found at this point.
For the record, the police station set looks exactly like the factory set, looks exactly like the hospital set because it's all the same color and it's all shot like crap.
We only see enough of one room that it could be. It could be literally like we built this room and then you go across the hallway and then there's the acupuncturist and then you go across the hallway and it's the hospital, room. Because yeah, there's nothing to any
Fucking
of it.
strip malls. But so here's the thing. This also leads to nothing.
Yeah.
It's the exact same dialogue, just said like an asshole. And he's like, I knew from the beginning you were trash. You just like your father. You know, good duck. Oh, pour one out for Vine.
And then I believe he takes another bus ride home.
Yep.
He looks across to try and spot the dark figure, I guess, and
But this
instead
time it's
sees
a woman with breasts.
a naked lady.
Once again, painting him like a pervert.
And then he turns around and another woman, the neighbor Tawny, is in his apartment,
Yeah.
and she literally begins ripping her clothing off.
Now, recall what I said earlier. He has now once again ridden the bus to go back to his apartment to get molested again.
Mm-hmm.
This is molestation number 4.
Right? They start having sex on the table.
Yeah. And he's like, no, we can't.
Yeah. And then like she I don't know, turns into, and all these flashy cuts turns into a Cenobite and puts like this device in his mouth and like starts screwing it. But then he wakes up from yet another nightmare. And then he like finds her dead body in the chair in his kitchen.
Like tied up with like a throat slash or whatever.
Yeah. And
Here's
so,
the thing though, is that the whole the thing that gets put on his mouth and like the plunger goes into the back of his throat.
Right.
That looks neat. It's
Yeah,
interesting. But because it does nothing, I'd rather them not have done it.
Exactly. It's like we don't get enough of the Cenobite stuff and like, oh, well, what could that have? Oh, it doesn't matter. None of it mattered.
Well, remember, they had always intended to have them.
They had.
This is real.
Definitely had.
Yeah.
And you know that because when he runs to the bathroom and washes his hands of all the blood, Pinhead's there in the mirror
Well, that.
for a moment.
Yeah, you're right. That means he was always going to be there.
He was there for a moment, guys.
This movie was always Pinhead.
Pinhead says all problems solved, which is the thing that's on the little card that he saw earlier. And so when he goes back out, Trevor finds that Tawny's body is gone. Everything is cleaned up in his apartment.
So he goes downstairs to her apartment and she's like, oh, yeah, I'm fine. There's somebody here.
And it's like her boyfriend. And there seems to be like she's almost confused that he's at her apartment now.
Yeah, and the boyfriend's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" It's like, what is this scene?
Yeah, I really don't know. Because don't worry though. He gets another call, this time from Detective Lang to what is it? Come to the station for questioning.
Mm-hmm.
So he does. Apparently Trevor's boss, Gwen, is missing.
Yeah.
So if you missed Brett telling us that in that previous scene, she is. And then he also, like, Trevor sees Brett like across the police station, and he does he like shush him, or he does some weird wave or something as he's led out, and then it's like, is Brett setting Trevor up for the missing of Gwen, or why is he there?
That would have been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't believe so. I think he just is there. He's on coke.
Well,
he got caught selling drugs to children.
Yeah. The problem is like, because of like every moment, including this next one, is like he's having a hallucination or a vision of something. We don't ever know what's real.
Right.
But like, you have to have a baseline.
Correct.
To come out of that. Because in the next, he sees Brett. The detective doesn't seem to see Brett or make any sort of contact there. And then the next thing, like, Trevor looks into this random office, and there's like a cop in there, like, sorting through files. And then he begins folding them into a origami cube that he sets on the table. And that triggers another vision where he has more of a conversation in the warehouse with the merchant guy.
Who is clearly played by Doug Bradley.
It is played by him.
Yeah, clearly, yeah.
And this is where he sells Trevor the lament configuration box in a similar-ish scene of like, how much do you think it's worth? Like, what is it worth to you, sort of thing? Exchange of money and box.
Money, box, hot dog, big pickle.
Mm-hmm. Take that how you will.
Yeah.
And then he like snaps out of that. There is if every scene so far has been pointless in this,
they have been. Let's be clear.
There is a moment here where he goes back to the hospital to talk to Dr. Allison. There's nothing. It is like 2 sentences. We don't get it's like that I'm really missing my wife. And then he is back in his office to confront Brett. We have no idea if this is supposed to be in the same day.
When he leaves from one place to the other, do we just assume he's taking the bus, or do we only think he's taking the bus
to go home
if they show him on the bus?
Oh, okay, good. I mean, I guess he would have to, unless these buildings are really close together. He's not walking across town.
I don't think he has to. I think that he is an X-Man, and his X-Men superpower is he can wake up from a dream somewhere else.
Oh, so it is like fast traveling.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
You just have to sleep.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume that's what it is.
Okay, sure.
He's back in his office. He confronts Brett about being accused for Gwen's disappearance. And then before that sentence can even be done, Detective Lang is then waiting for Trevor in his cubicle.
It's like a reveal, like he's like Emperor swivel chairs around. Then he's like, well.
And he shows Trevor the puzzle box that they found near the crash. And he's like, there were no fingerprints on it, but there was some blood. Detective Givens, his partner, wants to bring Trevor in for murder charges. But it's like, all of these 2 scenes could have been like in one. Why is it that every time either of the cops are going to talk to him in any way, it's like, we're going to have a moment here, and then the other cop is going to pop up somewhere else and do this. And I get it for the big reveal of what's going on with them. That we never see them in the same place at the same time. But we did earlier in the film.
It's also a dream. The whole thing is a dream sequence. So stop caring.
You could have this conversation, this reveal of the box happen in the police station whenever Trevor gets called there by Givens. He goes there. Givens is like, hey, your boss is missing. You're the prime suspect. I'm keeping my eye on you. And then you're free to go, because that also just continues to happen. We brought you in for questioning. We're not going to hold you for anything. And then as he goes to leave, then he bumps into Givens or into Lang, and he's like, hey, also I found this box. And then you still wouldn't show them in the same shot together or anything like that. It would be two separate interactions. But we don't have to have a weird like cutaway of him at the doctor's office. How many hours are in a day for Trevor?
Right. How many days have you? How much time is supposed to have passed?
And then like, what does he do for work?
Well, he types.
He types?
He cubicles. He gets raped.
Because he like goes to work and then he leaves at random hours to go get acupuncture done. And then he goes to the police station and back to the hospital.
And he's asleep at his desk.
And then, yeah, he's sleeping at his desk most of the time.
Yeah.
What kind of person would fall asleep under their desk?
I don't know. A goddamn criminal, that's who.
Yeah. And that's why Detective Givens wants to bring Trevor up on murder charges. I assume. Even as a joke, I don't know. This is our first little clue of something weird going on with these detectives.
It's not.
Because Lang leaves and then Trevor like looks around and then he looks back at where he was just leaving. And instead it's Givens leaving, like glaring at him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, that's weird that you guys were both in my office.
This movie is so incompetent, though, that there is a moment where it was just like, oh, I guess the other one was there.
Like it didn't even work.
Like, I guess they were both there.
I guess they both happened to be there.
Like, maybe he was waiting.
Yeah. It does kind of feel like that.
Yeah.
Like he was tucked around the corner, just like looking at his watch, like, come on, Lang.
Like there's nothing special about this, the way they shoot it. If they had done like a music sting or something, it might have been more impactful, or a more impactful music sting if they did one, because I didn't pick up on that
or
either.
If the actor, if Trevor's actor was an actor and could show any sort of like change of emotion of like, oh, that's a weird thing that happened. I'm very confused by this.
Or if you wanted to do something a little creepy, maybe do the switch halfway through the dialogue. That's also
because they
creative.
kind of do that later at the police station, but we haven't gotten there yet.
No.
I mean, we've been to the police station several times. Anyway,
Well, also, don't go back to the fucking police station.
you got to. That's where the finale is. So Brett pulls Trevor aside to tell him, like, hey, man, it's my last day. I quit this job.
Trevor's like, seriously?
And then he brings up like a plan that they were going to do something to get Kirsty's inheritance money.
Because Larry and Frank from the first movie, the Cotton Men, had money.
Yeah.
A sizable fortune.
Yeah, I was going to say she sold that house. That house burnt down. Never mind. Bit over. And then he has another vision.
Thank God you said it, because I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
It was over. I also wouldn't know that we were back in the bus or whatever.
Yeah, in the movie or whatever. He has a vision of Kirsty with the puzzle box, and she's not happy about receiving the puzzle box.
And she's like, why would you do this to me?
And then we're right back to Trevor going back to Sage's for more acupuncture.
But then she molests him.
Yeah, climbs right on top of him. Now he's laying on his back, and she puts all the pins in like his stomach.
Yeah, the
like
needles.
2 rows of these little needles. And then she is like, "Oh, well, I know how to help you." And she climbs on top of him, and then like lays on him to kiss him.
Yeah, her chest fucks those needles into his guts.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. Is he just? They're just all the way in at that point, right?
Yeah, I guess that's the thing, is that I think when you've revisited set pieces and characters in without any conjunction or like continuancy with each other, you lose track of what you're doing in the scenes that you're in now. So the editor's like, oh fuck, we're back here. Oh shit. Okay.
Is this where he was on his back, or he was laying on his stomach?
Where's Pinhead?
Where are the needles?
Where's the goddamn car?
Who has the box in this moment?
It's in a van down by the river.
And then she grabs an ice pick and she stabs him, I guess, in the chest. But then he wakes up
from a hallucination
in an ambulance.
Yeah. And he's like, what the fuck?
And then they tell him, they tell us, we don't get to see this, unfortunately, is they're like, hey, he's like, what happened to her? Is she okay? She attacked me. And they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. You were on the bus and you passed out. And that's where we got you.
That is because it's so funny, because we keep making fun of the bus rides, but that was the moment where I was like, I'm no longer entertained by the ineptitude of this. I am now frustrated.
Yes. Yes.
it's like, which bus ride? The man spent $50 on bus fare today, we think, because we don't know what time it is.
Yeah.
Because they keep using day for night, because the whole thing is grayscale. So we don't know what time it is. We don't know. Nobody told us.
Hellraiser Timekeeper.
Hellraiser 7. Pinhead gets a watch.
Yeah. Really fancy one.
Yeah.
They rush him to the hospital and he asks for Dr. Allison, who's been, the only good doctor to him.
No one knows who that is.
Yep.
Eventually he goes and he finds her.
I love this because he goes and like bursts. Oh my God. Is that it? Okay, so he bursts into what he knows is her office and it's like empty except for trash. And there's like a custodian who's like sweeping up in there and smoking a cigarette. And he's like, all right, you caught me, but can I at least finish this? I got at least 2.5 more minutes on this 7-minute cigarette.
I got it from a box of cigarettes. I'm going to smoke it. I'm going to kick it under this nightstand to blame my police captain or my police partner for the death of a hooker.
But
that's from the last movie, guys.
Does this mean that the reason that other brief scene of him meeting with her exists is so that we know where her office is supposed to be in the hospital?
Possibly. It feels like you could have just put her name on the door or like a photograph of her on the desk or something.
Or he just happens to know where her office is because she's his doctor.
Yeah.
You could have inserted that scene anytime he was in the hospital, not just a random moment in time.
Like, I want to see you back here on this day.
Mm-hmm.
Now it establishes he knows where she is.
Right.
Here's the thing. They have this whole conversation. Trevor and the doctor have this whole conversation.
Yeah, because he turns around and she's in the hallway.
Right. He
he's
finds
like,
her
okay.
successfully. And then eventually, midway through the conversation, the homeless man, janitor, stand-in, merchant, whatever this guy's supposed to be.
Well, in this moment is the custodian.
Right.
And I love it because they keep cutting to his reaction shot and he's just like befuddled.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then he goes, hey, buddy, who are you talking to? Here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a dream sequence because you're dead. Right.
Right.
And you're living out in purgatory or whatever. Why would purgatory include someone to point out the fact that doctor's not real? In like hey, psychopath, what the fuck are you doing? There's nobody there. Now let me smoke this cigarette.
Did you have to pause when you were watching?
Okay, we're back. Sorry. You talked about a cigarette. I had to go smoke a cigarette. Oh, shit. I just said cigarette.
Oh, God.
Okay, cool. Back. Don't say it again.
I won't.
All right, we're back.
Okay.
Trevor. Crack?
Okay. Trevor rushes. Well, now that he knows that he's seeing things, he's crazy.
Yeah, now he figured it out, by the way.
Well, yeah, he's only seen
moving
like,
his hand in front of the camera, throwing up a fake fucking eel.
His detective buddies changing into each other.
Yeah.
All sorts of things. People doing origami.
People having orgies.
Guys with pins in their head.
Factories.
That's where he rushes next. He goes to that warehouse and he looks for that the merchant guy. And I kind of like this because, I mean, not the acting, because, my God, he's just kind of shouting to the rooftops of, like, where are you? I know you're here. We see that a lot in these movies. I feel like it happened in both Candyman 2 and 3. Like, the leads, like, have their moment of screaming. And it's always like, oh, man, they're really going for it, and they just can't do it.
No. Well, and that's why they got hired, is because the $3 million went to Doug Bradley.
Good for Doug.
Good for Mr. Bradley. And $2,500 went to fucking Ashley so she could pay off that fridge.
But I like he's standing there over this puddle, and the camera like tilts down, showing that there's no one standing in front of him. and then you see Pinhead's reflection in the puddle.
And they have a conversation through the puddle. Now, the eye line is all over the place because sometimes our actor is looking straight ahead. Sometimes he's looking straight down. So there is a bad understanding of how to have shot that scene. But the idea is cool.
Yes. They have basically a nothing conversation.
Yeah. It's just a bunch of parables and you know, analogies and things, all of which are flavorful and filled with Pinhead dialogue, but it just doesn't do it when there's no story.
Exactly. And for the most part, it just ends with Pinhead
dabbing. But then his arm gets stuck to his head. He's like, "Oh no. Help me, Trevor. I've pinned myself to my fucking head." I'm stuck. This happened the other week when I won a game of Fortnite. I think you can play as Pinhead in Fortnite.
I hope so. I know that's what Clive Barker wanted whenever he wrote The Hellbound Heart.
Yeah, he's like, the Order of the Gash gets the cool new minty pickaxe when you pre-order now. I used to work at a GameStop, and there was a thing where if you bought any Fortnite merchandise, because they wanted to fucking get rid of it,
they hit you with hammers.
Yeah, they put pins in your head.
Yeah.
They fucking printed out a receipt, and at the bottom of the receipt was a code that you could put into your Xbox or whatever to get a pickaxe, which I guess is important in Fortnite.
Well, yeah.
I've never played Fortnite.
You need it for mining,
but it says it was
or crafting.
Well, you don't craft; you just mine.
Yeah, that's what I do, baby.
I don't fort. I just knight. But it was the minty pickaxe, and all these kids would come in and go, "Do you have the minty pickaxe?" And I would lie. We could give it to him, and I would just be like, "No, sorry, man, that promo's over." And they'd be like, "My life is ruined." And I'd be like, "Well, talk to Pinhead. He's in the puddle down there, champ."
Now, how did the kids sound whenever they came in and they were asking about the latest Five Nights at Freddy's?
Oh, they would run and they would go, "Oh, FNAF!" That's also a real story, but you guys don't get to hear that one yet. We're almost done.
We're okay. But
take it home.
Basically, there's been a bunch of kills, murders that have occurred, and they're pinning it on Trevor.
Yeah, fucking the boss is dead. The acupuncturist is dead. Kirsty's dead.
And Pinhead is like in this like puddle chat. He's like, the killer is amongst us.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be cryptic,
but there's two of them,
right?
And he didn't say, "Yes, it's me."
Yeah.
So I don't know what. I don't
know. Trevor goes outside and he runs from the dark figure who happens to just be hanging out on the sidewalk.
Yeah, and he bumps into his friend.
Yeah, Brett.
And it's the funniest thing ever. Because Brett's like, "We had a plan. We were going to kill your bitch wife and steal all her money, but you let me down. So now this is happening." And he shoots himself in the fucking face.
That's a perfect description of the scene.
It's what I'm talking about. And it's shot flat. The digital effect looks terrible. Yep. It is too dark to make out anything, but they are bathed in like fluorescent lighting, so they look terrible. And he's basically just like, "We were going to do this together, but you did it by yourself. And now I'm going to leave you with this." Bang! And it's like, what the fuck, man?
Before anyone can react in any way.
It's like, Trevor's handsome. He could find another person. He could find another widow worth millions.
Yeah. And then he runs to the only place he's got left, I guess, which is Sage's acupuncture place.
But she's dead because she has the fucking ice pick in her head.
Yeah.
So then he takes that out to defend himself because he hears something at the door.
Because he sees like what we assume is the dark figure has followed him up there and is like unlocking the door.
But no, it's a bunch of cops that all draw on him. And then
Detective Lang,
who's like smiling, and he's like, "Got you now, you son of a bitch."
Which is strange in their good cop, bad cop dynamic, that it's like, why is Lang the one that brings him in? Why wouldn't that be Givens? Givens seems to be the bad cop.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just find that strange and like
I find that a level of character development and nuance that is inaccessible for the creators of this film.
Oh, okay. Trevor's arrested. He's brought to the police station, which he has visited many times.
This is so fucking crazy. He's brought in. He's interrogated. Mm-hmm. He has shown documents that link him to everything. He doesn't ask for a lawyer, which is mistake number one. He is then escorted down to the morgue.
Yeah, like downstairs. Yeah, because he's like, I need you to. There was a body found in the river, and so I need you to come and identify the body.
Right. And so he's taken down to the morgue, and as he is, and I thought this was so goddamn strange. It's like in Hellraiser 2 in the Chennard Institute, like the basement.
Right.
All the psychos that are like losing their minds in their padded cells. There's just this guy who's like muffled screaming with a blindfold on like a Hannibal Lecter gurney, just pissing himself.
Yes.
But the floor is soaked.
Oh, yeah.
So how long has he been pissing?
A long time.
They're like, oh, we got a saline drip. He's never going to stop.
Yeah, it's a perfect system. I was gonna say, yeah, in this whole sequence here, Trevor keeps during the interrogation, during being drugged down into the basement, like he keeps witnessing the cops just like beating and torturing people all over this.
And I think it's supposed to be like, whoa, man, something's off.
Yeah, but I have to assume this is just pretty normal police procedure.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. It's like, well, yeah. Trevor, you're only realizing this now because you're white.
Right.
Yeah. This is just life. But, and then, okay, so this is the big reveal with the police detectives, is that Givens, the mean cop, is to Lang, the good cop, as Johnny Knoxville.
Thank you.
is to Johnny Knoxville from Men in Black 2.
Yes.
Because it is a preposterously similar looking effect wherein one of their heads is grown out of the other's head and they share a body. And so this is the first like overtly supernatural thing that our main characters witness. So he's like, what the fuck? So he runs into, oh my man, we're done. We can cruise through this.
Yeah, because he like
that's it. Credits are done.
Before this reveal, Lang like locks him behind a gate,
like a giant old gate,
and then they do the reveal, and then Trevor just like runs away.
But he doesn't run.
No, he just kind of
like
wanders.
He's like he sees this head grow out of the other head. And he's like, what the fuck? That is so I don't like that at all. I'm leaving. I don't care for this at all.
Hey, you get back here.
What? You know what? No, I still don't like this two-head thing.
I can't find the key to this gate.
It doesn't matter what you don't. You guys were in my work earlier. You were in my workstation earlier, and I just don't care for any of this. By the way, where's my wife?
Yeah. So yeah, he just kind of moseys on. He enters the morgue, and there's like a body on an operating table that he's about to like uncover, and then
Pinhead shows up.
Yeah, because everything starts shaking. A whole lot of shaking's going on.
This is disappointing too because they have played so far with Pinhead coming from cool locations, but this one goes back to Hellraiser Inferno, the last movie, where he just kind of goes through a door a couple times.
Yeah,
they try
and do because like parts of the wall like start breaking off, and then you get the blue light through the fog and the slats. Not earned for this movie, but definitely earned because this was always meant to be a Hellraiser film.
And
wasn't
a studio flop that they threw the word Hellraiser on in a transparent attempt to make money.
Certainly not. But yeah, Pinhead's just kind of like, he's there.
Guys, it was that.
What?
This was slapped onto a shitty movie that couldn't get greenlit.
There's no way.
I believe that it was. But yeah, so this is where we get our reveal. Yeah. Here's the reveal, folks. Ready? He didn't crash that car. See, a long time ago, he and his coworker friend, he being Trevor, and his coworker friend,
Brett,
came up with the idea that they were going to steal Kirsty's billions, which apparently she has. And the way they were going to do that is they were going to get their hands on this puzzle box and they were going to have her open the puzzle box so that these demons would come and murder her because apparently they can't just kill her. The fucking Brett was willing to kill himself so goddamn fast. Lightning couldn't have struck that fast. But no, not someone else. Clearly, that's not the same. So they that's their plan. And then unfortunately what happens is that when they open the box, that's their clip. When they open the box, Pinhead is in like a pocket realm of chains, which is, by the way, just a black box theater with a bunch of chains. It's a black room with chains. Yeah. It is the laziest set design ever. Do you remember in 2 when hell was matte paintings?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, that was so much better. Yeah. Anyway, so she goes, she Jack Sparrows. Hey, Davy Jones, Pinhead. I, Jack Sparrow, Kirsty Cotton, I'm going to give you 5 souls. I'm going to give you those 5 souls, and you're going to leave me the fuck alone. And her thought was, well, I'm going to get rid of my husband. I'm going to get rid of my husband's mistresses.
Because he has several.
His boss, his acupuncturist, and his neighbor.
Right.
And then I guess the 5th one is Brett?
Yeah.
But I don't know how she killed him.
I don't know.
I don't know how she did any of this.
I don't know.
Because she goes, okay, those are my 5 souls.
Yeah.
Trevor, who is covered in hooks and chains now, goes, oh, I was the 5th soul.
Right. And then Kirsty's like, but at least you have heard of me.
Pinhead. But so, can you imagine Pinhead's like, Pinhead, the ship would never sink. He would have nailed all that shit back together.
Oh, yeah.
Pulled the nails out. But anyway, so I have a couple questions, and they don't matter, but just for the exercise of thought. If what it is supposed to be is that Kirsty killed these 5 people to give Pinhead the 5 souls.
Right.
Which is what I assume.
Yeah. Or cause them to kill themselves or what have you.
Or whatever.
But yeah, sure.
So then why is Trevor like, do you know what I mean? Like,
oh, then yeah, like then what? Why are we witnessing any of this?
Why do we just spend all this time with him seeing them all die?
I don't have an answer for that.
Because he's in the car with her and he's like, oh my God, I love you so much. I'm so happy that you're so happy. But then we find out that what actually happened with the car crash is he was like, smile more. And she was like, do you remember when your friend Brett shot himself? And he was like, yeah. She was like, this is what that felt like. And she shot him in his head and he drove off the bridge.
Right.
And he smashed and died.
So we get all of that, right? It's he realizes he's the 5th soul.
Which, yeah.
He's been living like in this hell limbo loop and he's trying to like piece his whole life back together. That, I guess, is his punishment for betraying Kirsty with all the cheating and horribleness. Yeah. And then not being able to accept who he truly was, which is like basically the same thing that was going on with Joseph in Inferno. It's like his big reveal and revelation on himself.
Yeah, it's the same movie.
It's basically the same movie in those ways.
So then we cut to the real world after. So Trevor pulls the sheet back on the morgue table and it's him dead. Yeah. The makeup's actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, it is. He looks like a corpse.
Like a real dead body. Yeah. Whether that's a cast or just good makeup and a good still performance, I don't know. That's the kind of actor this guy should be. He should have been a cadaver for Law and Order. Yeah. But it cuts to the real world. They have dredged the car up out of the lake. 2 things happen that I find noteworthy. The first thing is that they have Trevor's body and people are looking at it. And it's all of the police chief, like the police staff and the coroners and everybody are all the people that he has been hallucinating as his doctor or the police captains or whatever. They're all real people.
Yeah, and we've seen this sort of thing a couple times where even like in the when he's in the police precinct and he's being led downstairs, he like passes a cop, but that cop is the like punk guy from the bus with the radio from earlier.
Yeah, or like,
so it's like or like there's a doctor at one point who was like also one of the like women on the bus, I think.
So the medical examiner is a good example of this. The medical examiner is the doctor who said that he was pill seeking. Now, here's the thing. That doctor from Trevor's dead fucking body,
right?
Who assumedly just died because Kirsty is still down there.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, oh, we found him. No, that doesn't make any sense. That had to have just happened.
Yeah, I think it just happened.
The doctor pulls that giant fucking eel out of him.
Right.
So that was the one thing that was real.
Yes. So here's where this whole scene with all its little reveals and the details and the people like being like, because then the other doctor, Allison, comes over and she's like, she talks soothingly to him. And Ambrose is like, why are you doing that? And she's like, well, think of, what if that was you on that slab? Like, wouldn't you want, in your final moments to like hear somebody comforting you? And so it's like all of these little pieces of his mind seeing and experiencing these last moments, and that plays out in this warped version of reality over the course of this movie. I should love this. This is the sort of thing that I typically love in a movie where you get to the end of it and it recontextualizes everything that you just saw. And it makes sense of like, oh, all these weird things that happen. I should now immediately, as credits roll, I should want to start this movie over and watch it again with fresh eyes.
It also gives you, it should give you a sense of existentialism, a sense of fear about the unknown. Because there are people who think that is what happens to you.
Right.
And all of this. But I have two things. Number one, I wouldn't watch this movie again for any reason.
What about that eccentric billionaire who was going to pay us $1 million to watch Inferno every day for a year?
I would watch Inferno twice before I watch this one more time.
Wow. Okay.
It's so bad. But the other thing is that his final moments are all these hallucinations playing out in the things that he is like subtly witnessing from his dying brain. None of that works for me in this.
It's not earned in any way.
He also, the reason he's dead is she shot him in his brains.
I had that same thought of like, okay, so they fished him out after this car crash, but he still would have a bullet hole through his head. Where are they? And her fingerprints are on the gun.
She says, because I thought the same thing, and I was writing the note down. She says, yeah, I tried to wrestle the gun away, but he just took it and shot himself.
Oh, okay.
But the point is, for your brain to latch onto these nebulous faces and to create this,
it has to still be operating in some way. You
have a fucking brain. The one interesting thing they did with this film, they did wrong. And it's like, oh my God. Also, how did the eel get in his stomach?
He was hungry.
Oh God.
They had just come from a wet market.
He's the Michael Myers of underwater. It's like fucking Fish Loomis is like fish brackets like, what is that? And he's like, it's an eel. And then he shoots him with 6 harpoons.
That's the movie we deserve.
That's the movie we deserve. But not the one we're gonna get ever.
No. Oh, luckily, just in case anyone was wondering, Kirsty is gifted the puzzle box by Detective Lang, who was like, oh, by the way, we found this in the wreckage. And she's like, oh, well, that's my anniversary gift. And he's like, oh, well, I'm not supposed to do this, but since it's the last thing you'll have from him, I'll let you keep it.
Which I guess is better than it going into evidence.
I guess.
I don't care.
But then it doesn't carry on into anything else because they don't bring Kirsty back for anything.
Well, and even if they were going to, it's like, well, that's a really shitty, stupid way for her to get that back. But whatever.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be supernatural.
How many refrigerators can one person need?
How many bags did fucking Pamela Voorhees need?
A lot.
So here's the biggest question that I have about this film. Derek, do you recommend Hellraiser Hellseeker?
Boy, don't I.
Oh, man. I think I recommend this the least of any of the movies we've seen so far.
Ooh.
By a lot.
By a lot.
Like, undisputed.
Like,
there's nothing to recommend.
No. Like, as much as I disliked Inferno, and as similar as like the big reveal of what's going on ends up being, it's like, and the things that there are things in this that I should like.
at least in Inferno, there are things that don't work that are kind of charming.
Right.
Or like that are funny.
Yeah, a cowboy bar in the middle of the woods.
Right. It's like, what the fuck is happening? There are moments, or like when he wakes up and he leaves the motel for the second time and he takes the phone call and it's her and he goes, yeah, and he shoots himself. It's like, that was done so sporadic and so crazy that in Hellraiser Inferno, it's like, that's pretty funny.
But this doesn't give you a chance to latch onto anything.
Anything at all.
Which probably, like I think I said this off the top.
Except
It's
bus
like,
rides and being molested. That's why I remember this.
I think that I can see a filmmaker going like, no, but that's the point. That's what we're in his mind as it's deteriorating in his final moments. And so what's real and what's hallucination and what's a dream and what's a nightmare and what's a GABA to a ghoul or whatever. And none of it matters.
No.
And once I've watched a movie and I realize part of the way through that, like, oh, at any moment they're going to wake up and it's going to be all fake, I stop caring.
Correct.
About what is happening.
If that's going to be a twist, it needs to be unexpected.
Yes.
You can't do that from 1,000 miles away.
Yes.
Which from the very beginning, it's clear that that's what this is. In the beginning of this episode, I said something to the effect of the things this movie does less of make it better than Hellraiser Inferno. The reason I saved it to the end is because what I mean is they don't work as much with characterization. They don't try to make characters out of these people. They don't try to do any of that. And that's slightly better because it saves us time and we don't have to care about any of these people. We didn't need to care about any of the people from Inferno, but they spend so much time trying to establish our hero, air quotes, our heroes.
Protagonist.
Yeah. His family and his relationship with his partner and his, all of these different things. They don't bother with any of that here. So that's better.
Yeah.
But it's worse because, good Lord, you don't have a single character in this movie. The only character in the movie that you have is Kirsty. And the only reason you have her is the work of Clive Barker. That's it. This is, it's god awful. It's god awful. And for a handful of reasons. Number one, ugly. Number two, poorly written. Three, it sounds like the ADR is lazy. Everything about it is bad. I genuinely dislike this movie.
Yes.
And the other reason it's bad is if I was already afraid to get on a goddamn bus, are you kidding me? I wouldn't get on a bus right now if you put my own gun to my head.
Thanks for tuning into the Third Channel Podcast. Please, if you have the time, rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any of your favorite podcast apps.
You can follow us on social media at Third Channel Podcast, and you can find me online at thatdrosenberg.
You can also reach out to us at thirdchannelpodcast@gmail.com, where we check every message we swear. Third Channel is hosted by PJ Minette
and Derek Rosenberg. Theme song and audio engineering by Fly Guy Ty.
The logo designed by Bell DeVelco.
Episode artwork by Nathan Walkington.
Keep it tuned right here to the Third Channel for all things horror. And remember, don't touch that dial.
Egg salad and eggs.